Hey guys, it's Ivan from Indoor Ivan and welcome back to my channel. It's hard to believe it's the last day of August already and September is on its way. In today's video we are doing our garden tour. Because it's late summer, there's not a whole lot going on, so we're going to condense both the backyard and the front yard together in one video. So let's go take a look and see what is going on. Alright guys, so let's take a look. So over here we have some of our lovely sedum that is starting to flower now. So sedum is one of the few perennials that I have in the garden that flower late summer. For the most part, my garden is pretty green once it's late summer. The purple coneflowers are almost done flowering there. And then if we take a look over here, for those of you who follow me on Instagram, you would have known that I got a little wind spinner. So I was off at Terra, and then I managed to pick up this little guy. Well, not little guy, it's almost or around 6 feet tall. And then over here, which I'll step on this side. Whoop. So over here, you might have remembered that I had a large patch of irises here. I took all of those out and I planted instead some bee balm. So there's 1, 2, and over there's a third one. And then I also planted some pale purple coneflower. So there's one that's there, one that's over there, and then you can't see the other one, but it's over there somewhere. So the pale purple coneflower is native to Ontario, whereas the common purple coneflower is not. They're both great plants for pollinators though, and as you can see there's one of the purple coneflowers there. And then if we take a look, some other highlights here. So this is my plumeria. So if you asked me 2 months ago if the plumeria was done flowering, I would have told you yes, it was done flowering, but there's still flowers and then there's still more flower buds coming out. So pretty much it's been flowering all summer, which is great to see. And then it's also pushed out some new leaves, of course. Then if we head over here, we have our Schefflera with nice chartreuse leaves. And then in this little area, we have my string of hearts, which I haven't really talked a whole lot about. Last year I put it out where it got more sun, but also more rain, and a lot of the leaves ended up falling off because it started to rot. So it's been enjoying this more sheltered location, and I've actually only watered this once by hand. All the other times Mother Nature has watered it, so it's been doing nicely, and it's flowered, and it's kind of trailing a little bit there. Put that back. And then I have my little orchid area. So if we come over here, my rickrack cactus, if you watch my video, you would have known that they started to grow. They have gotten a lot taller. And then even the Addisonii, I picked off most of the yellow leaves at this point, only a few left, but it's growing nicely at this point. And as we come down here, I didn't really get a chance to talk about these two. But these are some of the certifications that I got over the summer for my garden, and that one down there. So these two were really focused on creating gardens that were great for a lot of the critters, pollinators, and also the animals and birds. So it was great to pick up these two awards over the summer. I might do a little video just to kind of go over different awards that you can win for your garden, especially if you're in the Hamilton area. And as we pan out, you can see, again, I had 2 large clumps of irises that I have removed and shared with other people. So these are swamp milkweed, so they flower purple, but I got these after they flowered, so these actually were setting their seed pods when I purchased them. So I added 7 more milkweed to this area, so I'm hoping this will be a nice patch of milkweed. And then if you notice over on this side, we have some random goldenrod that have sprouted. I've decided just to leave them there because they're great for the pollinators as well. So as long as they don't get too tall, they will have a permanent place there. Then as we continue, we have our hostas, which are doing well. A little rock sculpture there. And then as we come over here, we have my bird bath that I picked up. I need to clean this. But I also added a little solar-powered fountain that I got from Amazon that was like 20 bucks. Right now it's not working so well because it is a little overcast. But once it gets sunnier, it does work. I brought out my little brush here because somebody from the last video asked, I think it was Janet, asked how I clean my bird bath. So I just use, I use I guess this is like a bathtub scrubber. And I will scrub my bird bath, usually once a week, and I'll have to tilt it. So it is in two parts. So this top part is like the bowl, and then this base is a separate part. So I'll usually dump out the water, rinse it a little bit with the hose, then I'll scrub, and then I'll rinse it out. Tilt the little bowl to dump out the water, and then I'll rinse it at an angle and then fill it up. Every 2 days or so, I'll kind of tilt it just to change the water, but it does get a little dirty in there, so a good scrubbing every now and then is lovely for the birds to stay clean. Put that brush down. Okay. And then as we continue, we have some goldenrod. I didn't plant this goldenrod. It just decided to grow here and flower itself, and it looks actually very pretty. And then if you remember all of the clearance lamb's ear that I got, they are filling in nicely down here. And if you actually take a look, these are all like the new growths that are coming out, which is nice to see. And then from our ON native plants, we have our blue stem goldenrod that is starting to get its little flowers there. So they flower like really closely on the stems, so it'll be nice to see some puffs of yellow. And then over here, again, not a whole lot of color. We have our sedum that is starting to flower. For our late summer interest, our crocosmia is almost done flowering. I might get more of these to tuck in different places because it does look pretty and bright. And then a new addition from plant group, I got some water hyacinth. If you look closely, you can actually see some of the damage that the squirrels did as they tried to figure out what was going on and what that plant was. And then you can see my butterfly weed is still putting on flowers, which is nice to see. This was from, again, ON native plants. So it was great to see these flowering. They've even put on some seed pods. Like, look how big that seed pod is compared to like my hand. So that's one seed pod, and I think there's another one down here as well. So it'll be nice to harvest some seeds, and I'll sprinkle those around the little tree stump and hope that more of them will kind of fill in that area. All right, so let's head over to the side and front of the garden. So over here we have my classroom peace lily, which was looking awful when I brought it home. Lots of new leaves have come up over the summer, so it is doing well. Unfortunately, I won't be able to bring my plants back into the classroom anytime soon, so I'll have to find somewhere in my home for that. And then down here I have a rescue Dracaena that hopefully I can spruce up and bring back to life and send it back to its owner. And then over here, you'll remember that I planted some autumn ferns, and they are filling out nicely. You can see some new growth, and that contrast looks so pretty. And of course, we have more of our autumn ferns over here. And then this area hasn't grown a whole lot. You can see that some of the plants are still struggling to get established because the squirrels like digging things up. So here's my little collection of plants. Peace lily doing well, of course, and the monstera is doing nicely as well. Lots of leaves coming up. That's a big leaf. Whoa, hold on. That's a big leaf there. So I did notice, if you look inside, that, oh boy, I have one stem that grew through the netting. Oh my goodness. So I'm gonna have to cut this netting apart in order to free some of the leaves. And then over on this side, our spider plants are doing well. Lots of little babies coming up, and even some new flower stems. And if you take a look down here, I'm so glad I put out these ferns. So these are the Virginia blue fern, I believe. And I actually split them early spring. So lots of new leaves have come up. So that is nice to see. It really enjoyed that humidity. And then lots of lush spider plant babies. Down here we have our other fern. As you can see, lots of new leaves. So hopefully it will make it through the winter. And then do it all again next summer. So off of the porch we have again our fiddle leaf fig. So it put out 3 leaves, and then now it's putting out another 3 leaves on both sides, which is really exciting to see. So I'm hoping that it will get lots of growth before I have to bring this guy in. And there's that original cut that I did earlier this summer. And then down here we have my snake plant, and you can see all of these nice silvery leaves. So these are all new growths. You can tell like the dull green is the older growth. I highly recommend, if you have that outdoor space, to put your plants outside for the summer, because they really do enjoy that extra light and that extra heat. And if you're always afraid about having it sunburned, put it in a shady spot. You know, it's still getting a little bit more light even in a shady spot compared to if it was inside. And then over here you can see the other snake plant. And you can see there's a new leaf there that looks pretty good. There's an old one. And then as we go down here, to finish things off, I'll probably go back up. So this is my little marigold patch that you can see here. So these marigolds have done so well. So these are French marigolds. I'll probably be growing these again next year. They've done well in this area. They do need a little bit of light, because if you compare it to the ones that are in a shadier spot, they are a little smaller. And one plant that I will not be growing again is my balsam. So if you come up here and we take a look at that balsam, the balsam does have like really nice flowers. You can see there, and then even some like there. There's even a little pollinator in there. You know, they are pretty, but the problem is they get a lot of seed pods down below. And where I live, we get lots of critters that scavenge for food, and if they can't reach it, they chew away at the stem in order to do so. So I've lost quite a few. This one's snapped in half as they tried to grab some seeds, and these ones were just chewed all the way at the base. So balsam, although pretty, will not be a plant that I'm growing again. Anyways, that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this condensed video, and you would also have noticed that I left out my little song at the beginning. I thought I would retire that. It's a little repetitive and annoying, and chances are you probably skip it anyway, so I'm planning on taking that out. So it goes straight to the video and the content. Anyways, I hope you have great day. September is just a day away. If you're heading back to school, best of luck. It certainly is interesting times. I'll be back soon myself. Anyways, until next time.